thank you all for joining us. I'm sure more will tune in when the time's right. Um, this is going to be the first of many, to be sure, but I'm joined with, of course, our CCO, Isabel, as all of you know. And our guest today is Michael Bittner, which is awesome. So thank you, Michael, for joining and looking forward to your presentation. Before we dive in, I wanted to tell you all about CBG. Many of you already know, but I'll go through the motion anyway. So we're fleshing out CBG, especially this year, with a more keen focus on what we deem to be the four pillars of CBG: people, brands, spaces, and events. And I mean, the logic really for us is that events are a combination of those first three pillars: people, brands, and spaces. People being potentially attendees and speakers, brands, sponsors, and event organizers, and spaces, they could be venues, offices, recording studios, etc. And one of these new features that we're introducing this year, one of many, is the webinar. So we're really excited about this. It's always going to be a way for us to give value back to our experts. They will always be free. They're always going to be focused on business growth, since our community, that seems to be the shared interest. And they will always feature giveaways. Now, for anyone that is interested in becoming an expert, a premium member on CBG, there's a lot of different added benefits to that, including the ability to list your profile and your business on CBG. You can submit articles like Michael did, actually. He was one of our first ones to submit an article, and others, free B2B tickets, B2B event tickets, and there's going to be more information on that this year. And with that being said, I'm going to hand it over to Isa. She's going to take it from here, and I will mute.
Hi, everybody. Honestly, I'm so excited to see you all. I feel like I'm in Cyprus. So I'm loving these webinars. It's so cool to see you. Well, we just want to now say thank you to our sponsors of tonight's webinar. Bedrock, as you know, is we are the growth, your growth partner for your business. I don't know if you ever thought what is the three about, and the three is the fundamental pillars for your business: growth, development, and content. And now we have the lifestyle magazine that is the provider of today's prize. Is really excited. And if you guys want to be able to win this prize today, yay, it's fair. We're gonna, it's not rigged. I will show the evidence later. But yeah, you need to stick around till the end of the webinar to have the chance to win. But to explain more about this, who better than the founder of Lifestyle Magazine, Amanda? So she's so awesome that she sent us a video. So take it away, Tommy.
Hi, I'm Amanda Moss. I'm the owner of Lifestyle Magazine Cyprus and also Liverpool Lifestyle Magazine. I run many events as well. I've been doing the Lifestyle Awards in the UK for 16 years, as well as Liverpool Fashion Week. And in 2025, I'm going to bringing the Lifestyle Awards to Cyprus in November, where it's all about supporting small businesses and recognising their talents and success and celebrating it. So I'm going to do it at the end of the season in November. I also launched my first fashion show in Cyprus in September last year, and it was such a success that we're doing it again on the 3rd of May. Because I've run Liverpool Fashion Week for 15 years in the UK, I have got very strong ties with the British Fashion Council and fashion designers from all over the world. So when you work with Amanda Moss PR, you're working way more than just a magazine. It's way more than just being in print and being online and shared across multiple social media groups. I have a huge social media following. I have over 50,000 followers and a monthly engagement of 60,000 people. So I can get you to places where you might not be heard of, or you might not be noticed. So basically, Lifestyle Magazine Cyprus is way more than just a magazine. It's basically your full PR and marketing machine to help you make you memorable. Hope to see you soon.
How cool is that? So if you stick around till the end, you will win the prize. That is a whole page about your business on the next printed magazine. So that is really awesome. Um, what else? Let's get to it, right? Today we have our premium member, Michael Bittner, as our guest. He is, wait up, he's a storyteller, a photographer, a videographer, a coach, and now I know that he plays guitar. Awesome. And like Tommy said, he was the first member of CBG that submitted an article on the website. So we are so happy to have you today here, Michael. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing your story. So give it a go. I'm excited to hear it, and I'm sure all of us.
Thanks for the nice words. Yes, I'm a multitasking, multi-talent, whatever you want to call it, from a musician to a photographer, videographer, blah, 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 anthropologist. The story is long. Everybody who knows me from all the people here, yeah, if we start like this, it will be an endless night and we will see sunrise. So I think I shorten up this one and jump straight into the topic of storytelling in business with a special focus on AI. As we know, that's quite interesting, and so many people get afraid of AI that AI will, yeah, destroy a lot of jobs. But to be honest, that's with every kind of revolution. The first industrial revolution killed many jobs, but it brought so many jobs. The same like with social media managers 15, 20 years ago, nobody thought about being a social media manager, and now it's like quite normal and be famous like Isabel. Social yeah, I have to say, come on, that's true. So let's jump into my presentation. I'm sure many of you will hear many of the things I shared today, not the first time, but let's see it as a nice reminder of what storytelling can bring to you, to your businesses. And so just give me a second. Yeah, I love it. Does everybody see it? Good. You know, that's the thing with presentations. Sometimes it does not work. So, the power of storytelling in business, mastering storytelling in the age of AI. For all the people who don't know me so well, like Isabel said, I have many talents. I am a videographer, photographer, mentor, coach, musician, but I also studied cultural anthropology and with a specialization in visual anthropology, and transnational communication sounds super important, but in any way you can combine it or can erase everything, and what will last is storytelling. So I also studied photography and some other things. And with Horus Horizon Productions, I combine everything. So let's jump into the topic because we don't have so much time, as I know, as I realized, because I could talk like for hours about this topic. I love it. So when we think about storytelling, what is storytelling? Everything and nothing, basically, but storytelling has always been with us. Like I wrote here, from the earliest cave paintings to today's digital platforms. It's how we have connected, taught, and inspired one another. And this little saying in the corner, numbers tell, but stories sell, will be important at a later part of this presentation. So, what are the roots of storytelling? I love it that I make a mistake, but anyway, forget it. How did it start? With oral traditions. So as long as humanity existed or has existed, we share stories. stories from people who went out there. We shared wisdom. It's part of our cultures, part of our history. And through the generations, we carried all these traditions via oral sharing. And if you think about cave paintings are one of the earliest visual stories that are out there. I think like one of the oldest is like 40,000 years old. So that's quite a while. And even like 3,000 years ago, I don't have it on this slide of the presentation, but even 3,000 years ago, the Sumerian civilization started writing things down. And 2,000 years ago, um, when you think about the Greek culture, about Homer and his Iliad, hey, we have a lot of traditions here that are written down, or basically not written down, it's still oral. And it changed in the 15th century and in the Renaissance time with the Gutenberg Bible, and the printing press revolutionized storytelling because suddenly it was super easy to copy paste basically the texts monks were writing for ages. Suddenly, okay, here we go. We can publish something and you have quite easy access to it. And funny fact, in the 19th and 20th century, the written storytelling evolves into a mass communication. So we have the press, newspapers, we have cinema, and I am sure all of you love to watch a nice movie or a nice series. That's part of storytelling. And now here we are in the 21st century with AI. The radio and cinema gave stories a sound and motion, and the digital media democratized storytelling. And with AI, we have a tool that really can push your storytelling or storytelling in general to the next level. So basically, question is, what is storytelling? Storytelling is the art of shaping experiences into narratives that connect, inform, and inspire. And I'm not sure, Tom, but maybe we can share the whole presentation later with the group so that everybody can write it down. And by the way, this is an advice I want to share with you anyway already. Take a paper, take a pen, and whatever makes this, wow, I have to write it down. Just write it down. That's the best way how to, yeah, to memorize what you hear today. And when it comes to storytelling, a story is definitely more than just the words, just what more than we read in books or newspapers. A story is full with emotions, with visuals, and basically with shared human experiences. And never underestimate the power of your story and your story from a, even if you're a personal brand, if you're a big company with 10,000 employees, no matter what, your story has the power to engage customers and inspire teams and set your brand apart from others. And if you remember the first slide, you saw this motorcycle, this Harley Davidson. And I studied 7 years at university, um, and I did research on Harley Davidson. And for example, they do storytelling so well. Harley Davidson is like one of the brands where you can really learn a lot when it comes to the topic of storytelling. They really share the story. They they engage the audience, they share way more, they share emotions, they share visuals, not just a nice Harley. You drive somewhere on an open road, and then suddenly you see the sunset and you feel free. You feel the freedom to explore who you are. So this is like a nice example of what storytelling can really share with the. But what do they all have in common when I think about Harley Davidson or Apple? They have a narrative. And what is basically a narrative? Narrative creates something that we call a meaning. And the stories you share as a brand with the people out there builds an emotional connection. Um, and these great stories inspire action. Basically, when it comes to Harley Davidson, I wrote it down on the slide. It's freedom, individuality, and the open road. You think of this, you just see this. You don't have to think about Harley Davidson, but a small, a small mini scene of like 2 seconds or whatever with the brand logo and the road, the music, uh, the background. It transports something with the audience that is more than just like, it's a nice Harley, it's a nice motorcycle. Yeah, to be honest, there are many motorcycle brands out there, but Harley Davidson is really damn good in creating a nice story. Or think about Coca-Cola and Christmas. Think about Santa Claus. The way we see Santa Claus today, red, white clothes, this old guy with a white beard. Thank you, Coca-Cola. You made this, yeah, you created this kind of narrative of Christmas and Father Christmas and Santa Claus. So they were able to create a narrative so that people would drink Coca-Cola all over the year, not just for Easter time. And here we go. Why storytelling matters. Yes, you might want to share numbers. You are maybe an AI company. You are Apple, maybe. But as I mentioned, numbers tell, but stories sell. And storytelling basically gives you, well, helps you and lifts your brand up to a different level of connection. It builds trust and loyalty. And the differentiation is like when you're a brand that shares a story that is so deep from the core, from the heart, it really sets you apart in a crowded market. We all know there are hundreds of thousands of photographers, videographers, um, and website designers and branding experts and whatever. But there's only you out there, and the magic behind all this is storytelling and how you create with your own story this kind of momentum and this kind of magic that where people feel really like, hey, wow. Like in my case, many people know me as Magic Mike, or like Tom likes to call me Michelangelo. Michelangelo. Uh, and funny fact, people save my number based on this, not on Horus Horizon or Michael Bittner, my whole name. No, they save my name as Magic Mike or Michelangelo. Funny fact, but this is part of the storytelling and this is part of the story I share with the people. And the people remember stories so easy. Think about Forrest Gump. Think about all these Hollywood blockbusters. And as I mentioned, Coca-Cola, it's not the Coke you hold in your hands. You think, you hear music and you see this old guy in red and you think like, oh yeah, it's Christmas, and there's so much more to this story. There's Christmas, we have the presents, we have cookies, we have milk, we have hot chocolate, we have a cozy atmosphere, we have a fire. It's family time basically. And these are all parts that make a story really like, wow, memorable. And even with AI, many might think AI will do it all and you don't need storytelling and you don't need a paper or a pen. But I can tell you something really important, and it's about the emotional core. The emotional core of storytelling remains a uniquely human strength. And storytelling might, AI, sorry, might help you with all of that, shorten the amount of time while creating this story, but it's your heart. It's the core, the essence of who you are as a brand, as a personal brand, as a unique person out there who shares what she or he has to share with the world or wants the world to know about you. There are hundreds of ways to use storytelling, and there are like, I listed only some techniques I'm using while creating stories for my customers. Because it's not just I take some pictures, I take a video, nice, blah, 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 blah. Everybody's happy. So I picked out three that are really essential for my approach of storytelling. And I think everybody out there in this webinar can benefit by rethinking what do I really want to share with the world. And one part is out of journalism, and it's called the 5 Ws: who, what, where, when, why, and of course, how. Um, who are you? What would you like to share with the world? What is your solution for a problem? Where you want to share this story? Is it in Cyprus? Is it in Dubai? Is it in India? Is it in Japan? When do you want to share it? Is it in the mornings? Is it midday? In the evenings? Summer? Winter time? And most important, why you want to share it? Is it just because you want to make a fucking bunch of money? Yes, it's nice to have all the money, but the clients at the end will not be so stupid and will smell it, that something is wrong with this kind of story you want to share. And we all know these influencers and whatever who promise you the best workout ever, and you will lose 10 pounds or 20 pounds within a week, and then you will be the super sexy Mr. or Mrs. Universe. But something smells like not right. When it comes to anthropology, this is where I start from usually, because as I mentioned, I study cultural anthropology, and anthropology is basically the understanding of human meanings and behaviors. And it helps me to understand in a cultural context and the values of an audience. How does this look like? For example, a pen. Simple, easy example about this. When you think about a pen, take it in your hands. You can do this now. What comes into your head when you look at this pen? Well, when I look at this pen, I see signatures, I see history, I see, maybe Churchill, I see World War II. What happened there at World War II? What happened with Churchill? Later on, what happened in the US in the Vietnam War, or even now, Trump will soon sign whatever he has to sign, and then he will be officially the president. A pen. There's a pen. And with this pen comes a lot of context. It depends on the person, it depends on the society, it depends on the culture. So one thing you can take with you home tonight is definitely try to think outside the box. What kind of pictures come with this thing you're holding, this idea or the story you want to share? What is it? Maybe you want to share with the world that you're the best brand expert out there. But what comes with branding? Pictures, videos, um, nice headlines. Yeah, but in what context? Yeah, we're in Cyprus, so it means things are different. It depends on who you want to reach. But of course, you can ask me later a bit more about this. Um, Now let's go to the literature. And I'm sure everybody knows the hero's journey from struggles to transformation to triumph. And it makes you feel, as a listener, as a viewer, connected to this human being. And when you think about Apple, we have Steve Jobs. Apple wouldn't be where it is now without Steve Jobs. We think about Steve Jobs. You think about Apple, Steve Jobs. And so on. Then there are many brands out there who might not deliver something just like coaching sessions. Yeah, Steve Jobs didn't deliver coaching sessions, but he delivered a lifestyle. He delivered a feeling, and it was not him who delivered it. It was the company Apple that delivered or still delivers a lifestyle, a momentum in your life that makes you feel easygoing and welcome to West Coast, baby. This is who I am. This is a representation of who I am, of my lifestyle, plus music, whatever. And some practical storytelling tips, and these are like some of the basics, is always like start with the emotion, lead with a problem or vision. But anything that really is a pain in your ass, sorry for the wording, and we have so many things we try to avoid, and everything that has to do with pain is automatically something with emotions. And storytelling is for me nothing less than creating emotion pictures. Emotion pictures in the heart, in the soul, in the mind, but also literally as a video or as a picture. And build the arc, create a clear beginning, a middle, and end. And I know I'm a creative, and sometimes people don't understand what I try to share, but sometimes simplicity, not sometimes, most of all time, simplicity is key. So if you help them jump on the boat to follow your path, it's easier to give them something that has a clear beginning, a clear middle, and a clear end. And show, don't tell, use visuals, metaphors, anecdotes. So yeah, you can promise them a lot, but if you don't show them, like with storytelling and social media, with pictures, with reels, what it's all about, who the fuck should believe you? And with that, you will leave a mark. And the unforgettable takeaway is that you're, like with Harley Davidson, you feel, you experience freedom when you sit on a motorcycle like this. You feel the wind, you feel free, you feel the sound of the engine, and you feel really like a god or a goddess. And that's like, wow, it makes something with you. And that's an unforgettable takeaway. So Every story must connect emotionally, have a structure, and leave a lasting impression. And I know we try to overthink so many things, but if a story doesn't touch you emotionally, like I mentioned before, the Hollywood movies, Forrest Gump, sitting on the bench, talking about the chocolates and life, that touches something within you. And you also have a structure, and that gives you a lasting impression. So now we come to the interesting part. Don't get me wrong, everything was interesting, especially for me, but now AI, technology, and handwriting. Many people say, yeah, we have ChatGPT. But I'm honest with you, fuck ChatGPT if you don't know how to use it. Start old school. Take a pen and a paper, and this is for your own clarity and creativity, because you use so much more neurons when you use a pen and a paper than by using your keyboard and make tip tap, maybe just with two fingers. You use way more brain capacity for writing down ideas. But later, of course, use AI tools like ChatGPT, or I mean, there are hundreds of AI tools already out there. Um, they will help you to speed up, to personalize it in a very nice way. I do this with my scripts too. So I have my script written down for a nice story I want to share. I share this with ChatGPT, and then streamlining. Okay, does it really resonate? Does it touch me? And look at the wordings, because sometimes ChatGPT just will, it's a language based thing basically. So you really have to be the guide who guides AI, ChatGPT, where you want it to be at the end. And as I mentioned, combine these two. And with that, you also have the data. Maybe you see the engagement from your audience, which posts work the best for your audience, where's the most interaction, and just combine it. So with AI and your handwritings, very old school but still up to date, you can easily and find it way easier these emotional resonant stories. So, and what wrote down here is like, came straight out of my heart, and it's really writing by hand forces clarity. Point. And no AI can replace this. It's the root of creativity. But AI accelerates and personalizes the process. But the soul of the story must come from you. And this is what I meant. If you want to look at Harley Davidson, some commercials, if there wouldn't be the music, if there wouldn't be some dude who fucking loves driving with his Harley, riding this steel horse, if there wouldn't be this passion for this little object, well, little, just kidding, then you wouldn't feel it in the story. And this is so important when you start thinking about your business. Where is the passion? What is the story you really want to share with the world? And no, people have to know this. People have to know this. We really get basically super horny to share this. And you cannot stop sharing this because you're so obsessed with it. And this is exactly the soul of your story. And from there, the rest is storytelling. So, long story short, here are some benefits of modern storytelling. So, never forget the human connections and the stories. I can speak ages about that. Without a nice story, you will not resonate emotionally. And data alone will not solve all your problems. It might solve a lot, but the human interaction and the emotional connection to your brand is based on the emotion pictures you share with the world. And the strategic advantage, well, there are hundreds of brands out there, maybe in the same niche like you are, but what makes it unique is your story. And there's only your story, or his story, or her story. There's only one story you can share, and this is your own. And future ready. Don't be too shy with AI. AI will not kill your job. Even for me as a videographer and photographer, it will not completely destroy everything, and ChatGPT will not kill me. It still needs the human heart and the story and the emotions, and storytelling at the end will build trust and fosters the loyalty and bridges the gap between traditional values and the cutting edge technology. And I think with all storytelling, having said, storytelling is really something you don't have to be shy about it. And everything about storytelling you can learn. It's about practice. Practice, 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 practice. And if you have questions, of course, ask me. And to the key takeaways, storytelling is timeless. As I mentioned, it's part of humanity. It's nothing new, but your story defines a new path on this big path of storytelling that is part of humanity. And the techniques are universal, like from journalism, anthropology, and literature, or think about movies. They work. It's part of our human DNA. Blend the old and new. Like I mentioned, start with a pen and paper, refine with AI, and create narratives that inspire. And storytelling, yeah, it's a competitive advantage, and it's not just for marketers. That's why I'm saying brands, personal brands, innovators, change makers, leaders. Without storytelling, without sharing your story, I don't think you will reach a lot, especially when you have goals. And think about Coca-Cola. It was one of the best storytellings ever. They changed whole Christmas, and now a lot of us human beings celebrate Christmas with Santa Claus and red and a tree and cookies and milk and whatever. So storytelling isn't just an art, it's a skill and a strategy that drives connection, differentiation, and success. So if you have any questions left, I'm open for the question round, the Q&A. Make a screenshot from my contact details so you can reach me outside of this event. And with that being said, that was my fastest storytelling event webinar ever. So Tom said I should be finished and very fast. Otherwise, I speak for hours. So I was on point.
That was totally on point. In fact, you were ahead of time, Michael. So yeah, wow. And that was awesome.
1
Thank
minute,
you for
30
that.
seconds, I see. 1 minute, 30 seconds.
Yeah. Oh, what, you've got a timer up in the corner, have you?
Yeah.
Of sorts. No, that I think speak for everyone when I say that was really insightful. I appreciate that massively myself. I definitely have some questions myself, but before I ask anything, I wonder, has anyone got any questions for Michael?
I have a comment.
Oh.
And Michael, that was really amazing. Some parts of it reminded me of Simon Sinek, which is my most respected business guru, about sharing why you do things and putting the emotion into it. Uh, so that was very nice and very informative. Thank you very much, Mike.
Thank you for your words, my friend. Yeah, and that's then the funny fact about all this. Simon Sinek uh, studied the same thing like I studied. So if you think you cannot do anything with this kind of studies, yes, definitely you can. And this guy is really a genius. And um, if you are interested in his works, I really recommend this to you because this is you have sociology there, we have politics, we have history, we have anthropology, of course. I mean, yeah, he did the same thing like I did, and but there's so many layers and culture and society and business. It's never black or white. What's interesting is a holy shit of gray in between. And sorry for my words, but I'm just very straightforward in everything that's in between. Yeah, that maybe not polarize it, what you want to share, but in that you find exactly the core and the core of what you want to share with the world, the story. And for everybody, I hold now some. I will share two books. I hope you can see it. Is it in? Okay, my computer does it the wrong way. I will share it with you. If you're interested in reading a bit outside of this, these are like two major books. And if you have a pen and a paper, write it down. It's Unleash the Power of Storytelling. That's book number one. Unleash the Power of Storytelling. That's a really practical guide for the workplace, for marketplace and everyday life. So if you can use, if you're single, you can use it even for flirting. And believe me, I tried it out. It worked, obviously. Funny fact, but I might be a storyteller, but sometimes a kick from the outside of my universe is quite nice. And the other one is facts tell, stories sell. And I'm sure this guy will have, you will find it in English for sure, because this version I have is a German version, and I'm not sure if everybody understands German, and I don't want to penetrate you with German because I also try to avoid it. Um, so, facts tell, stories sell. That's the second book, and this, and like Andrea said before, start with why from Simon Sinek. These are really free books I highly recommend when it comes about storytelling. Or you ask Papa Mike uh, and have long hours of conversations about storytelling. That's yeah. It doesn't start with a nice picture and a nice selfie. There's way more behind the frame you see.
That's awesome. Has anyone else got any other questions for Mike? Well, I'll ask one. I've got a quick question. I made a couple of
Yeah.
notes, and one thing that I find myself wondering is storytelling. Usually, especially in marketing, we take advantage of there's always another day. We have as much time as we need to really tell stories, especially when it comes to branding. But I wonder when it comes to short form content, like there's been a massive rise in that. Using short form content to tell stories. What's your take on that? Do you think it's a detriment? Do you think it works against us in storytelling, or do you think there's a way of using it and really taking advantage of it?
No, it's definitely a way of using it. So if you look at the bigger brands or these really great influencers out there, um, all the stories they might talk about X or Y. But if you step one step back and look at the whole picture, What are they sharing? Like Richard Branson, this dude is a masterpiece when it comes to this. Yeah, he has so many companies, but then you see an old dude on his own island drinking something in board shorts and having a nice life. How does this cool dude fit to the brand of Virgin Records or Virgin Airlines? And this guy is definitely not a virgin. Not the way he looks, but a story. Think about all these Hollywood blockbusters. If you have a straight story, okay, I have a problem. I go out there, da, 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 I'm on a white horse now. I come back, oh, good. I'm blonde, perfect, with white hair. But anyway, blonde, come back, I have my princess. Sorry, these stories suck. They are boring, and after a while, you will think, yeah, fuck off. And all these side stories, what about the side characters? That's why we have dozens and dozens of side characters in a Hollywood movie or side scenes. You think they don't fit to the whole story, but in the end, you have this feeling everything made sense. And this is when it comes to the short format content, it might not fit to the perfect line you have, the red line to share with your brand, but it shows something of your brand and of you as a person, maybe, that people can resonate with. Hey, this person doesn't have a stick in her ass or his ass. It's quite nice. Hey, and he or she has quite fun. And I like the way he acts in front of the camera and shares this. So it gives you this personal touch to this person. So you don't have to think about like, oh shit, I don't follow my content guideline and the content calendar. Oops, I shared something out of this. How dare I am to share something out of this? You don't have to stress yourself out of this. You can share something funny. People resonate with this because it's you. And when it comes to short form content, so many brands out there try to be perfect and perfect. Yes. Yeah, you can try to be perfect, but not even the official channel from Dubai or Abu Dhabi or whatever. I know this from experience. They are not perfect. And sometimes they share something that is outside of the box and that makes you feel, oh, I resonate with this. Wow, I feel. And it's not the perfect quality, it's not the perfect cutting, it's not the perfect bikini tops, it's not the perfect six pack. It's like sitting there and thinking like, oh, whatever you want to share. So I do think this small content outside of the box helps to promote the whole story, because the story is not just, like I mentioned, black and white. And we love to share only the white side of life or the golden side of life on social media. Bling bling, and oh my God, oh God, if I had this bling bling life, I would be already a rap superstar in the US, but I am not. Fake it till you make it will not last forever, quite a while. But what about the stories where you really sit there in your PJs and say, okay, hey, cool, I love it. That's way more resonating. How resonative? Can you say this? It's way more resonating with the people that watch this, because not everybody's like a bling bling out there. And when I know all the people here, not everybody of us is a bling bling superstar. Yes, we can be. And like for example, Isabel does this very well. She, sorry for, yeah, I take you. Sorry, I use you now. Sorry, darling. You share this really well from professionalism. You share the professional world, yes. Like with your, when you had this makeup and like, wow, boom, really like whoosh, jumped in your eyes and was like, wow, damn, that's good. That's sexy, hot, true. Yeah, what to do? That's the truth. But also the whole personality. It was like, yeah, that's her character. It's like, boom, hola chica. It's like this. But then she shares small things from her children and how much she loves her husband. All these small details. If you think to the whole brand of Isabel as a personal brand, does it really benefit her? Fuck's sake, yes. Because it shows more than the bling bling or the super professional. It shows the human. And this is what so many brands still forget. They think they make to have to make everything perfect. But fuck, we are not perfect. We are just human beings in this physical vessel, and we are definitely not wearing all the time golden teeth and bling bling all the time. Sometimes we sit there in PJs, sometimes we sit there naked and think, fuck, I hate this world. But the next day, everything is good, and then you enjoy life again. That's part of humanity, the ups and the downs, and this should be represented in the stories too. Of course, like brands like Apple, Coca-Cola, Harley Davidson, they try to avoid this, but sometimes you see stories from workers at Harley Davidson who share like, yeah, I have this now, I have my new bike, yes. And you feel like, yeah, as a biker, you can resonate with this guy or this woman. And then you feel connected. And sometimes it doesn't have to share like this percentage of good stories and this percentage of bad stories. Um, it, it really depends on your brand and your personal brand and what you want to share with the world. Or if you're an influencer, it will depends. Sorry for the long answer.
No, don't be. I totally agree. I see what you're saying. It's like different puzzle pieces of a person or a brand. It's how I'm reading into your answer. It's
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. Long
really,
story
really
short, it's a puzzle.
Yeah, awesome.
Long story short, there is no correct answer. Bravo.
Yeah,
Awesome.
fair play. No, I really appreciate it, Michael. Does anyone else have any questions for Michael? Michelangelo.
I don't have a question, but I was just
Oh,
gonna say thank you. It was awesome. Laura has one.
Laura
Let
has
me, because it's like, Michael, thank you for the storytelling. Long and listen to you because yes, we know each other from various networking, but definitely with another um, face, let's say that I discovered tonight. And thank you for that. Personal branding and business branding. So we was talking about the storytelling, okay? And as you say that the numbers don't sell, the story sells, okay? The emotion. So ultimately, the people they connect with the people behind of the brand. So how you do the how you make the story, how you do the storytelling on a personal branding and a business, and in such a way to do not damage the business branding because ultimately you need to do both. But obviously the brand behind of the brand it's you. So how you do it, how you draw that line, to don't be too much or too low.
I try to keep myself short now because
Okay, sorry, Paul.
no, all good, all good. I love the question because it highlights something when you get asked. Well, I get asked. Um, let's go for something practical when it comes to the videos, the pictures, reels production. Michael, what shall I share? I have this brand. Yes, and this is what I'm doing, and yeah, but I don't want to share myself with the world. I don't want to let people. It's only about the product. I only want the people to buy the product, and that's it. Um, well, we have to sit down and analyze who is your brand, what is your brand, what is the why of your brand, and then because your brand is always your baby, and at least a big part of your heart is your brand. Sometimes a bit more than the children. It just feels like this because it takes a lot of space. but the brand will not come to you like ba, 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 ba. Will not come like this. So how to not damage your brand? I think what I saw with the brands I worked in the past in Austria was like honesty. Being honest to yourself. Like if you don't want to be in front of the camera all the time and be the super face herself or himself, it's okay. There's no, you have to do this. Otherwise, I come with my German ancestors and kick your ass. No, it's not about that. It's about your personality and how your personality is a reflection, how your brand is a reflection of your personality. And then you can figure out like, okay, maybe we should post something about this or this or this or this with you in the picture. You don't even have to say something. We can make a voiceover. For example, there are AI technologies out there who can copy paste your voice and you don't even have to speak. It doesn't sound that different. Sometimes they are really good when you don't have to realize anything. So you can start slowly by showing up with your face and your brand as your baby. But it also is like, the question is, and I love this question. The first question I would ask you is, why? 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 Like a pirate, I would repeat it, or like children. And you know this. When they're small, or even when they're a bit older, they ask, why? 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 I don't understand. Why? So penetrating you with the question, why? Because I'm not the one who answers this question. I come with ideas, I come with solutions, I come from the outside with, hey, maybe you could do this. But all my solutions are worthless if I don't have you on the same boat. If you don't jump in and say, yes, that's why I'm doing this. That's why I want to be in front of the camera and I give a fuck about what other people say, like Karl Lagerfeld did. This dude is missing in the fashion industry, to be very honest. And I'm very much into fashion. If anybody knows, now you know. So I'm very much into this. So this dude give a fuck about what people think of him. He will come up every season with mini skirts, even though the whole industry says no, we don't need mini skirts, and he will fail. But then he comes again and says, "Oh, mini skirts are cool." And if everybody thinks about that, what other people think about that, fuck you. I think mini skirts are cool. I love them. I love sexy chicks. I love them to wear this. And suddenly, boom, it is. Sometimes being a revolutionary character means also to bump into the expectations and the visions and the images people have about you. So why don't you want to share more of yourself as a personal brand? Because these both are anyway connected. The question is why. I mean, you don't have to share a picture from you sitting on the pot. That's totally understandable that you don't want to share this. That's really privacy, got it? Or having a date night with your partner. After the dinner and after everything. You don't have to share this. That's completely understandable. But like I can mention Isabel again, or Davina is also very good in that. Sorry, ladies. Not sorry. But they share parts of their personal life in a very authentic, natural way. It's not like, darling, come on, now you have to pose. Oh, come on. It's not like that. They don't give you the feeling of that's artificial. It feels natural and it makes it very, hey, they're nice. Oh, that's so lovely. And wow. Davina has her consulting. Wow, that makes it more human. Automatically, what she shows is the human person, and that reflects on the business itself too. It's a human business. It's not fucking technology empire, whatever. It's sorry for the words. Sorry, little one. Sorry, I see it. So, um, what is it you can share with the world that makes your brand even more human? And that's one of the main questions. So you can share basically everything that where your brand can benefit to be seen as more human. Because of course you do something with moss, yes. But how human is this? Yeah, well, it's part of nature, and you love the way you share things with your hands, for example, in your business. You craft something that comes out of your heart. You have a vision, you have an image of this here. Yes, here too, but here. And if you share this and then something private, God, it's totally fine. And if you think about like, oh God, it could maybe, oh my God, what should will people think about my brand? People think too much. People think definitely too much. I gave up on this, honestly, and Mr. Sir Thomas here was one of the guys at the first moments I was like, I cannot do this so much, and like, no, I can do this. I can show up as the person who I am. I'm not just a videographer or just a photographer. Dear world, you can, man, you know what? Because that's me. That's the whole personality, Michael, and that's part of me. And so can you. And it depends on you what you want to share. And if you do it out of your heart, and this is what I mean, what I meant with why. If it comes out there, I have to sell more. Somehow people will feel this. And the intention behind the story you want to share, of course, we all want to sell something. No doubt about it. But if you put this to the side and just share something because we have this fire for our brands, and we share this love and this passion for what we do, then you honestly, if you do something out of so much love and with so much heart, you don't think automatically on money. You just share this and like, wow, I built this and this. Yeah, look at me, look at this. Wasn't it great? And you don't think about the money, but people will think like, wow, that's cool, that's great, and she's so lovely. The way she acts, that's that's really a human being. That's not just a machine, that's not just a computer. And people are going crazy because of AI anyway and technology. Oh my God, there is no human being left on this planet, to radicalize it a bit. But the human being in the background, wow, it makes it human. It makes it touchable. And of course, yeah, you can have many questions. Is it okay what she does? And we know all the social media, sorry, bullshit that happens when a celebrity posts something. And this is not nice. But also, it's their right to share what's on their minds, if we like it or not. And that should be part of this is part of human nature. We are all not the same. And at the same time, why not sharing this and starting then a conversation? If we have a conflict, we can start a conversation and find a solution somehow. That's the other part of business. But if you make this with your audience and suddenly some people say, oh, why are you doing this? You cannot do this. You're doing something with moss and suddenly you're lying around in the bikini. How dare you lying down there enjoying life? How can you do? Work something. Whatever. You can say, yes. What's your, why are you telling me this? You can start a conversation and maybe suddenly this person becomes your biggest fan. because you spoke with this person. Sometimes they just need a bit of attention and some cuddling and some touches, like a cat, and or like my dog outside. She needs attention, and then everything is good. And suddenly, the biggest supporter, where you can turn this and by showing your human heart with the world. Okay, that was again a speech. Sorry.
Thank you, Michael. Okay.
Michelangelo. We need to do like a webinar with you, like 3 hours, so we can. Well, you're a storyteller, right?
There you go.
Yeah. I told I'm prepared for a 3-hour webinar. My last webinar about storytelling was 2.5 hours, and the timetable was 3 hours.
But listen, well, thank you so much. I know we are on time. We're more than the time, so let's get down to really quick for the prices. Yes, and first, before going to the prices, I have my assistant. Thank you, Sienna. You see, like you said, Michael, there is no perfection. Here is my storytelling, the kid. So I have here in this bowl, super, like you see, super paper and pen. No, really like cave woman. We're gonna do here, first, our premium members are all in here, and we're gonna choose who will be the guest for next webinar. So I would use Sienna's innocent hand, but I'm afraid she's gonna rip it up. So I'll use mine. It's not that innocent, but we'll see. Okay, so the next guest will be George Charalambis. Yay! Whee! We need to tell him.
We do, yeah. I'll write to him now.
We need to let him know. Oh, cool. Later on, I'll send you a photo so you see that I'm not cheating. Then I'm gonna drop all of this here, and I wrote really quick all of your names, the ones that you're there, you're here, except no, Sienna, no, don't end the meeting. And now, no, we're gonna see who is the winner for the prize. Again, thank you to Lifestyle Magazine for this amazing prize. Dr. Estefan Mayer, he's the winner. Yay! Congratulations. Woo! Okay, I will say this so we don't forget. Tommy, back to you.
Yeah, that's awesome. Congratulations, Stefan. That's awesome. And George, I'm literally writing to him now to give him the good news. So that's exciting. And Michael, I got to say, thank you so much for being our first ever webinar guest. It was awesome. It was a great way to start it all off. I feel like there's something poetic about the first ever webinar being a storytelling webinar. So thank you for that massively. And thank you everyone else for joining us.
We need a selfie. Wait, don't go.
I'm gonna do
We need a selfie. Like, I'm not there, but we need a selfie. I don't care. Like, if you can open your cameras, just take a selfie.
Come on, Andreas. Let's see them PJs.
No.
Yeah, come on.
Andreas in PJs. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Yay! Woo! Eso!
There he is.
Yeah. PJs for life. Yeah.
That's it. That's awesome. Guys, everyone, thank you so much for joining. This is going to be the first of many. We're going to do it once each month. And like I said, it's always going to be focused on business growth, business development, things like that. I hope you can all join me in thanking Michael again for that. It was awesome. Thank you so much. I hope you all enjoy the rest of your evening. Izza, thanks for joining us from Abu Dhabi. That's pretty exciting as well. And yeah, I hope you all have a good one, and we'll surely see each other soon.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Everybody.
Bye. Good night.
It was awesome.
Good night.